Wednesday stop of the English Premiership. Let's join Martin Tyler for the first half call.
Autumnal day in West Yorkshire, but there's nothing pleasant about the circumstances of Leeds United at the moment. How will they fare here against a side that is setting the pace in the FA Barclaycard Premier League? Lovely angled header by Henry to Robert Pires. Never any great mystery about the way Arsenal set out their stall. Peter Reid will have anticipated, I'm sure, this lineup here. And he had his in pretty much a settled state until this Mark Viduka episode. Viduka, of course, who got the winning goal at Highbury in May for the first time. Goal to keep Leeds at the relegation issue at the end of last season. That falls done and dusted. Here's Alan Smith letting it run today. Sol Campbell behind him. Alembe, who played in midfield against Manchester United in midweek, he's back at left back with Lamine Sacco, who's just crossed that ball ahead of him. And the subject of left-sided players, Ashley Cole will will be up for a battle against Pennant. He's got Pires there to help him. He's marking Pennant at the moment. No one was marking Bridges for Arsenal. Kelly's cross came over Seth Johnson. Sacco! It was a good low strike. And Lehmann, very early in proceedings, inside the second minute, he wasn't caught cold. Arsenal a bit lax in the way they allowed the throw to be worked and the subsequent cross. Good goalkeeping though by Jens Lehmann. Kelly. Here is Sacco. Seth Johnson, who got both goals in Leeds' last win here against Blackburn. He's in midfield with, of course, the rejuvenated David Batty. The best part of 18 months in the wilderness. Going in, Bergkamp just flips it from him, and then it's sent long by Kolo Touré. Rather half-hearted chase this time by Thierry Henry. Paul Robinson in the Leeds goal. Leeds still smarting from a defeat at Anfield in the league last weekend, and a contentious goal when the flag was up for offside at a really crucial stage. It gave Liverpool a 2-1 lead after Alan Smith here had equalised at Anfield. Leeds United to the core. Plenty of others have left the club, the crown jewels of Leeds United. But this particular jewel is still in situ at Elland Road. Early nail-biting for Arsene Wenger. Batty. Camara, who perhaps has settled the quickest of the lone players come to Leeds United this season. Alembe would be in that category as well. Nicely into the feet of Bridges, who's sent tumbling by Parler. Bridges just got ahead of Parler and rather drew the foul. Leeds with Peter Reid and his coach Kevin Blackwell worked very hard on their set plays. Jermaine Pennant who takes this one, anticipated by Ashley Cole. Pennant will be involved again with another set piece because following this free kick he'll take the corner. All set up with 4 around the penalty spot who break away now. One of them is Smith, who gets his head to it, but can only knock it down into a cluster of Arsenal players. And Bergkamp closest to the ball. Henry trying to go it alone, spurning the chance to give it to Pires, but Leeds spurn the chance to clear it. There's a bit of a fumble underfoot from Roque Jr., but he got away with it. The line of Touré's vision there. Johnson, Sakho, Bridges. The flag has gone up against Lamine Sakho. It was a good save. Yet Slayman wasn't aware of the fact that the game was about to be stopped, but it was a deflection off a defender, but the flag went up and Sakho's effort wouldn't have counted. Henry. Pires back on the left. Gilberto and Parla, captaining Arsenal again today. Touré. Oh, he moved into space. Plays with such a zest. But he's in too much of a hurry then. Touré. All over Parla, but the ball fell Arsenal's way. Cole, Henry's definitely onside. Camara played him on. Can Henry get away here? It's Henry for Arsenal. He scores! It's a classic Thierry Henry break. It's come in the 8th minute, and the player they rely on so much, Arsene Wenger's men, has delivered again. Once he got the run right, it was a run of such pace and penetration that there was no catching Henry. It was all a question whether Robinson could bail Leeds out, but he couldn't. Slot it away by the fabulous French forward. Leeds United 0, Arsenal 1. And they'll be wondering, the Leeds supporters, Peter Reid wasn't manager, of course, when Arsenal were last here, but they played so flamboyantly for their 4-1 win in this fixture last season. Well, he complained about an offside flag that went up and wasn't acknowledged at Anfield, but there was no question about offside here. Henry got it absolutely right, and Camara was the defender who just gave him that licence. Player who has been in the French international squads with Thierry Henry. Bridges. So the league leaders have an early boost, but they wanted a free kick there. But the decision is a corner. And they looked a shove by Alan Smith, but not to Trevor Massey, the assistant who was closest to it, who's just supervising the corner, nor referee Mike Dean. There'll be some arguments from Arsenal if this leads to an equaliser. Roque Jr. in that position where he got his first goal against Manchester United in midweek, but they couldn't quite work the magic again that time. Southampton 0, Manchester City 1. A former Leeds player, Robbie Fowler, has scored down at St Mary's. And Newcastle 0, Aston Villa 1. Dion Dublin has got the Villa goal. Camara. Here's Parla. Lovely turn by Freddie Ljungberg. Haven't seen much of him so far this time they do catch Henry offside, and that worked okay that time, but the horse may well have bolted. Smith. That's a mispick by Campbell. Mr. Cole filled in behind him. Batty. Heavily done with Seth Johnson's help. Batty trying to pull a string or two here. Kelly. Raymond able to pick it up and pick off the pass that was aimed for Pennant. It's a source of much debate, this loan rule. The Premiership clubs brought it in really to try and suit their own needs. But often the case of the loans between Premiership clubs is the player hasn't been able to turn out against the club that have loaned him. Certainly the case. Chelsea have loaned several and they haven't played against Chelsea in matches. That was a free kick here for Leeds. But Leeds United themselves loaned Danny Mills to Middlesbrough, and he played against Leeds this season. That's the reason for the free kick. A little bit of hands-on by Ljungberg on Sacco. Kelly. Lauren, who's got this 4-game ban to serve. He was the most severely punished, a £40,000 fine by the FA's rulings this week. A player who's not been red-carded in English football before. It's quite a stiff punishment, I feel. Oh, hesitation between Touré and Gilberto. And here's Sacco. And in comes Pennant. Drops to Batty. Rocky Jr., that was hit a bit strongly for the moment. It left his boot. It would have had to have flown really at Bridges' chest to give the attacker any chance. Leeds have had more than an even share of the ball, but they are trailing. Junior, of course, a World Cup winner, a Champions League winner last season with Milan. I know he was a bit of a fringe player through that campaign. Ljungberg leaving it for Lauren. Bergkamp. Sort of holding on then. Rocky Jr. wasn't best impressed. Free header for Rocky Jr. Gilberto is an international compatriot. He couldn't keep it for Arsenal. Kelly. Batty. On to Olembe. That's a threatening cross. Dealt with by Campbell. Ljungberg. Who doesn't get the plaudits for being as quick as Henry, but over short distances he's electrifyingly speedy. But Leeds recovered well against that little surge from Ljungberg and look down their own right-hand side now with Pennant. Every incentive to do well today. Seth Johnson. Lauren hovering round. Lehman had come out thinking he might have got it, but he obviously didn't call loud enough. Bergkamp can't hold it. Not been particularly orderly from Arsenal since they went in front. Michael Bridges. And it's Smith. Oh, he could have taken it on. Comes back to Bridges. And now Pennant. Flinging himself in the line of what was a cross shot from Jermaine Pennant was Ashley Cole. If Smith, it's easy to say sitting from the sidelines, but if Smith had just used the pace on the pass and not checked, might have been the better option. Here is Alan Smith. Cleared by Campbell. Camara heads back, but only to Pal. Get that pass very far. Johnson. Sacco trying to get behind Lauren. He's defended capably. And that conceded the corner that looked a possibility. Lembe with a throw. Just a bit back on their heels at the moment, and Batty the opposite of that. Lembe's cross, Campbell. Decent spell this from Leeds United. Batty on the ball again. Lembe. Oh, rather scrapes it to Henry. He can't hold it up. Then Lauren. Bergkamp. On for Ljungberg. What sort of support will Ljungberg get here? Henry flying forward, and Gilberto as well. It's in towards Gilberto, doesn't get there, but Pires does, and it's 2. It's pretty much smash and grab for Arsenal. First Henry, and then Pires. Breathtakingly quick counter-attacks. Look where they were starting from, those supporting players to Ljungberg. Then they turned on the gas. And it was a bit lucky, the pass was aimed for Gilberto, but it was Robert Pires round the back. And Arsenal have a 2-0 lead inside the opening 17 minutes. Pires' season hasn't been as spectacular as Henry's to this point, but he scored a wonderful goal in the win at Liverpool last month, and he's on target here. Pennant. Cole. There's a massive test of character for Leeds United now. Bergkamp. Players recruited in very difficult circumstances. Not required, shall I say, by clubs around Europe. The only pickings that Peter Reid could make. And he's actually spent any money on a player. Leeds haven't got any money. Their balance sheets are in red and not black. Parler. Lauren. Bergkamp. They've had a couple of games here against Manchester United recently, Leeds, in the league and in the Carling Cup. They've just lost those by a single goal margin, and given a good account of themselves. They were playing well at Liverpool when this contentious moment involving Paul Robinson led to that Liverpool second, and there was no turning back then for Gerard Houlier's men. They've had some rough, tough fixtures, and of course this is right up there with all of those. And Peter Reid at this stage wondering, I think, where it might end today and how painful the margin of defeat might be. He'll still be hoping that it's not a defeat, of course. As a player himself, Peter Reid, enormous grit and determination. He needs those that he's picked today to show those sort of qualities here. Phil McKenzie and Trevor Birch on the right, the new man to come in and help the finances. He's been with Chelsea, who don't need any help with their finances, but grim faces that reflect a very grim time in the history of Leeds United FC. Smith. Johnson, Batty. Here's Kelly. Johnson. Bridges. Perez can only just get a foot to it, can't really pass it forward. Prior to last season, of course, when they only just stayed up, Leeds United had finished in the top 5 for 5 years in a row. Often over that period, this game was very much seen as top of the table stuff. It is only in one respect. On the top of the table, and any win here would ensure that they stay there. Bergkamp. Gilberto. I'd like to get a goal today, Dennis Bergkamp. A lean spell for him, but of course his game is much more than just scoring. Toure. I think what we've seen in this opening 20 minutes, having the ball is all well and good. Leeds have had over 60% of possession for some periods of it, and then it's what you do with it that really matters. And Arsenal have turned 2 breaks into 2 splendid goals from their point of view. Rocky Jr., that is a very poor technique in the tackle by Bergkamp. On his left side, Olembe. Smith, who you can be sure will keep going right to the end. And he is tackling back, but it runs on for Bergkamp. Henry just telling Bergkamp to hold it. Now Henry makes his move. Out comes Robinson. Henry's got there first. But trying to turn camera, I allowed Rocky Jr. to pinch possession back for Leeds United, but Perez does the same for Arsenal. Batty on the blind side. Gilberto. Parla. Now Sacco. Lauren. Drop it over Camara, who reached it very well. Henry just curses. He knows how close that was to being, at the very least, another great chance for Arsenal. Penalty, he must be feeling at the moment. It needs to be operating in the other team. Rocky Jr. Johnson. Now Bridges, lost it forward, Campbell just held off Smith. It wasn't easy. Imaginative from Michael Bridges. He was in a very good spell of form here at Leeds when he had his first injury back in the year 2000. Henry lured Olembe in. Oh, and it's behind Bergkamp. It was in danger of going offside. Kelly. For Pennant. From Kelly, which is a push and shove with Campbell. Knocked on by Cole. Kelly's header. Now Pennant, who actually scored a hat-trick for Arsenal towards the end of last season against Southampton in the card English Premier League. Sacco has got the crowd going, and after dispossessing Ljungberg, Olembe wasted Sacco's efforts. Perez. Now Cole. Let's be careful, Arsenal, not to be complacent here. And that's pretty abrupt by David Batty with an arm up. Yeah, that was something that the referee, I don't think, saw straight away. It was all part of the challenge from Batty. And there'll be people in the Arsenal camp, maybe like Ashley Cole himself, who's been on the end of an FA ruling this week, As if to say, well, you can judge us, but judge the others as well. Shaken up Cole. Yeah, Ashley Cole, I think, is entitled to say, you know, ref, didn't you see anything there? There's blood coming from his mouth. And David Batty, absolutely delighted to have his career reactivated by Peter Reid. And he's always sailed pretty close to the wind as a ball winner in midfield. He can be a bit hot-headed, Ashley Cole. He needs to be sent back on with that water, not just to stem the blood, but just to keep him cool in the temper stakes as well, as he feels he was hard done by, and I think the replay shows that. Kelly. Starting towards Alan Smith, who made it his, but couldn't quite find the bridges with the flick. The flick pass by Parler runs away from Lauren. In Blackwell, the coach, I think, trying to get Alan Smith to maybe play a bit further forward. He does tend to loves the cause so much. He tries to get involved. If they're struggling in midfield, he'll go there. If they're struggling at the back, he's not surprised to see him helping out in his own penalty area. But they do need to be purposeful in their attacking play. Leeds United already 2-0 down. Pennant, and the drops for Tala. Happy trying to get to grips with him a bit too literally. Arsenal have already won this season at Middlesbrough, at Manchester City and at Liverpool. They were held last time out at the Valley. It's very purposeful Charlton Athletic. And of course they drew 0-0 also at Manchester United. That's their away record so far this season. And you can add to it. And, 17 minutes to go to half-time, a 2-0 lead at Leeds. Johnson. Alembe. Well-time tackle by Ljungberg. He got injured against Newcastle, Freddie Ljungberg, at the end of September, and his season, a bit like that of Pires, hasn't really sparked off as yet, so Arsenal still got that to come. But here's Pires losing out in his own penalty area. Fortunately for him, Smith took the ball wide. And now tries to link up with Batty. Pennant. Good covering header by Lauren. He worked it well on the right-hand side. Batty and Pennant between them, and then David Batty fouls Robert Pires. He did have his eye on the man. Pires felt the contact, got the free kick. We do need to, and it is a booking for Batty, who certainly should have had a card earlier, for my money, for the tackle on Cole. But he gets one here. 15 minutes to go to half-time, and presumably it was something David Batty actually said. They now moved the free kick forward 10 yards. Comes off the head of Rocky Jr. Wasn't anticipated by Ljungberg, who doesn't have to be over-adventurous down the right-hand side. 2 goals for the good, but they've conceded a free kick here. Toure, who's made himself a first-choice centre-back, Arsene Wenger, Kolo Toure, but he's still learning the position. Played in midfield here last season and scored. Batty. Pennant. That's not Batty's way again. And it was not a tentative first touch from Campbell that took the ball behind for a corner before he could get to it again. I've got this corner where Seth Johnson takes it, and Rocky Jr. looks for space around the near post. There's a lot of thought goes into this. We've got 1 or 2 other options as well. He had trouble with the bounce tucked forward by Henry. There's another counter-attack forming for Arsenal here. 4 players forward, 4 outfield players back for Leeds. Fowler, Bergkamp trying to set it. A little prodded shot against the post, comes out to Henry! And Arsenal lead at Ellen Road by 3 goals to 0. Not Bergkamp's goal, but he had a big part in it. It's another for Henry. And Leeds, again, cut apart by the quality and the speed of Arsenal's attacking play when they break out of their own half of the pitch. Swept in by Henry. And there's still 12 minutes to go to half-time. It is very similar to last season, when they very quickly put the game here to bed. Toure. Lembe. Bridges. Toure gets a foot in. The worst fears for the Leeds United fans being confirmed here. Lauren. And I must say the sounds coming out from the Leeds boardroom have not been particularly supportive to the manager Peter Reid, who's been placed in what most people in football see as a very, very difficult position. And the debt of gratitude for keeping them up last season doesn't seem to have lasted very long. For a manager who has to deal with an unprecedented debt in Premiership football. Pires. The Olays for Arsenal. Campbell. Gilberto. Pires. Lauren. At least the Leeds foot got to the ball. It came from Seth Johnson. It's a test of their professionalism now. Leeds United, they have to try and confront the situation as a group, not as individuals with their own agendas. Toure. Oh, it's run his way. Camara holds Arsenal up for a moment. Bergkamp. Rather dipped on Robinson, but it didn't get underneath him. Batting. Because Arsenal are capable of doing this to many clubs in the league. Toure thought he was being bundled over. It's a throw though to Leeds United. Smith. The bigger the win, and the fact that Leeds haven't got a goal, of course the decision about leaving out Mark Viduka will be, I guess, second guessed by the critics. Gilberto, Junior read it well. Saka. Gilberto quickly across the ticket of his work. It's not spectacular. Always is, and because of the threat of more of that, Leeds surrounded him and eventually brought him down. One problem Leeds have had this season is the number of goals they've conceded in the latter stages of games have been quite costly. Well, today their troubles have come early. Pires. Toure. Lauren. Helped to the ground by Sako. Not only the number of lone players that came in at the start of this season made it difficult for Leeds to build a newish side. A good number of those players didn't speak any English. And it's a bit short from Parler. The ball was strong against Johnson, who thought perhaps he was going to get that. And it's Ljungberg. Doesn't run for the Gunners this time. Bridges. A nice change of direction, but he hasn't lost Cole yet. Pennant's cross. He Junior had gone forward in free play. Camara without too much support at the back. If Arsenal can get the ball, they can't at the moment. Well, Johnson gives it to Toure. Bergkamp. Here's Pires. Gilberto and Pires. Use Ljungberg. There's a massive space here. Bergkamp to the right. Henry to the left. On a first half hat-trick. Ljungberg. Now Bergkamp. Timing the release for Lauren. So good tracking back by Sako. Even beyond last season, if you go back a couple of years prior to that, Arsenal came here and won 4-0. So it's not just about the current troubles of Leeds United, it's about the quality of the visiting team here as well. manager and his coach, Peter Reid and Kevin Blackwell. Leeds have got coming up games away at Portsmouth, here against Bolton, and then at Charlton. Some of the, I suppose, less spectacular clubs, but certainly Portsmouth and Charlton have had their moments this season already. Bolton are never an easy team to beat. Sam Allardyce, Peter Reid are great friends, but they're coming up this month in the league, and Leeds will be judged more. They fail to get a good points haul from those games than perhaps today. And that's the way it should be. But what should and what is in football sometimes very different. Kelly, Batty. And then have been through a lot with this club. Gary Kelly again. It's a 13th year at Ellen Road. Bridges. Just waited. Gilberto has done a lot of tackles in a game and does commit a few fouls, but it's amazing. He's been in English football now a season and a third, and he hasn't had one yellow card in the league. Well, this could give Ellen Road a terrific boost. It's a free kick from a promising position taken by Seth Johnson. Toure made the challenge and then prevented the corner. Camara. There's Rocky Jr. Now Pennant. Swept away by Campbell. Perez. Only dropping a short this time. Gets it but can't keep it. Parler. Ljungberg setting off through the centre. Good turn of foot by Kelly. Parler done well to get to it and to find Bergkamp. Ljungberg's got back onside and Parler was roaring up on the outside. As Arsenal look menacing again. Smith. Apologised for an incident, Alan Smith, in the midweek match where he picked up a bottle that was on the pitch and threw it back into the crowd. Actually hit a Leeds supporter, a plastic bottle, I hasten to add, but it was still not the right thing to do, and he knows it. And back cleanly by Gilberto. Batty. Pennant, good flurry here from Leeds late in the first half. Sacco. Came off a Lembe. And off Ljungberg, and Sacco goes on, and then he thought he knew where Bridges was. Batty. A bit static in front of him. There's some space there. Oh, and Pennant. He just switched on. Is it me, he says? It was. It was coming back, but it was when the ball was played, of course. No other candidate but Jermaine Pennant. Just after that, Kolo Toure was slow picking himself up, but no need for the physio to come on. Peter Reid composing his thoughts for what he's going to say at half-time. We're in the 45th minute now. There'll be a couple of extra minutes. Ljungberg. Bergkamp. Henry looks for the hat-trick and blazed over the bar. He's considering one or two other options, I think. Particularly Freddie Ljungberg might have caught his eye, but then it would have been 3 inside a Premiership half. fairly rare occurrence. And he stays on 2 as we go into added time. Camara, Henry is there to worry the life out of him again. And to get the better of Rocky Jr. He was being pulled back there by Camara, and well, that's amazing. That wasn't spotted. It's all about angles, of course. And an escape for Leeds United. So it's a question of the last defender, of course, as well. There were 2 of them tangling with Henry. Here's Sacco, headed out by Toure. Ljungberg, nice change of direction to lose Olembe. And here's Pires. Cole prepared to run ahead of Henry. Sacco. And Campbell wanted the goalkeeper to get that. There have been 1 or 2 moments, I've seen a good number of Arsenal games this season, and there have been 1 or 2 moments where Jens Lehmann and his back line haven't quite been on the same wavelength. Oh, Rivera's equalised at
Leeds United week just goes from bad to worse. A 3-0 shellacking in the first half, courtesy of some sexy football from Thierry Henry. We'll stick around. We've got highlights of Man United Portsmouth coming up. It's Arsenal 3.
Fans of Michael Bridges will be pleased in one respect, that he's not stayed off because of another injury. It was a chance for him today, and he's only lasted until half-time. Milner is the replacement for him. Smith. Rocky Jr. A conundrum, of course, for Leeds. They want to try and get something going in attack, but if they overcommit, there's no more deadly team than Arsenal for the breakaways. We've seen that already today. It was after a defeat by Arsenal that Peter Reid lost his previous job as manager of Sunderland. Campbell. Lembe, it's a very good cross on the run, and a good piece of defending by Ashley Cole, who had to make sure that he was strong against Pennant then. And that's the sort of driving ambition that Leeds need in abundance in these very trying circumstances. And a good set piece here would help as well. Pennant trying to flick it on, and Batty sliding in. He's worked it wide to Johnson in doing so. Pennant actually played for Notts County in a senior game at the age of 15, Jermaine Pennant. He's always been in the really promising category, and Arsene Wenger letting him come to Leeds to try and see what he's made of out in the fierce glare of the battle, and it certainly is a battle for Leeds these days. Here's Pennant, but it runs to Gilberto. Parla trying to get the angle on it for Henry. He's done just that. Ljungberg has kept pace with Henry. That's the player he's looking for. And he's found, but not in a scoring position. Rather backing off generally. Ljungberg thought he was fouled by Rocky Jr. Not so. Seth Johnson. Sacco. And Milner has timed his run well. Leeds have got three in the middle. Milner can't produce the cross. It'll be interesting to see how Arsenal react in these circumstances with this three-goal cushion. They have got, as I said right at the start, a very important week ahead of them. Vital that they start winning in the Champions League. Play Dynamo Kiev on Wednesday at Highbury. And they play Tottenham in the Barclaycard English Premier League next Saturday. All that that entails. Henri. Bergkamp. Here's Ljungberg. Trying the trickery against Alembe. He is going to get a free kick this time, Freddie Ljungberg. Peter Reid's been very pleased with Solomon Alembe. And the individuals that he's brought in have been asked a lot. They have to gel, they have to show some fighting spirit to preserve professional pride here, because there could be another one, and there is, and it's put away by Gilberto. Within 5 minutes of the start of the second half, the margin is widened even further. There's a bit of fortune about the goal in the way that the ball did reach Gilberto, but the midfield player tucked it in, low, left-footed. Robinson beaten again. Had a look at the record books at half-time. I can find a 5-0 win for Arsenal here in 1980. And some of the Leeds fans have had enough. Not too many, I must say, but there is distinct movements towards the exit, particularly at the Kop stand end of the stadium. And Arsenal attacking in the second half. And Alembe's foul. And he's got the yellow card for it. Finding Ljungberg increasingly difficult to deal with. Haaland. I still feel they should have had a corner there, but it is grim viewing for Peter Reid. Here's Rocky Jr. Smith. Batty. Kelly. Real extremes of emotions within the stadium. The Arsenal fans are in fine fettle, just like the team. They won't be pleased with the news from Goodison that Chelsea have taken the lead with Adrian Mutu's goal. Everton 0, Chelsea 1. And Gilberto back to his midfield basics, blocking the attempted cross from Kelly. Batty. Cole. Here's Bergkamp. And now David Batty. Going to take the game by the scruff of its neck, and it's a decent hit by Alembe. And then Sacco, good stop by Lehmann, and well, the flag then went up. Well, Batty was the catalyst here. Alembe's effort looked goal-bound until it was blocked, and then Sacco's was certainly goal-bound until Lehmann got plenty behind the effort from the left-sided Leeds player. Here's Cole. Now Rocky Jr. On from Sacco, Alembe. They've got nothing to lose, really, Leeds now, except, of course, if Arsenal pick them off again. But they're having a go here. Sees Batty on the ball again. The gap between second from bottom and the top very clearly emphasised here. That's a good effort from the Leeds fans. They know that even with their star players who have been sold, that this will be a daunting fixture. There are more meaningful battles, if you like, to come later this month. That will give a better illustration of how well this group of players are equipped to win a survival battle. Camera. Peter Reid, of course, can't change them until January, and that's if he's still in charge. Milner. Pennant. Chested down by Toure. Parler pinging it out to Bergkamp. Henry. Pass was delayed. Alembe. Camara. His misjudgment allowed Henry to get into the clear for the first goal. Rather set the tone for what has followed. Kelly. Here's Milner. Batty. Smith. Possibly handball, not given. Smith on the spin. Didn't quite set himself right. See what was in his mind. A left-footed curler. Arsenal haven't quite been the real deal defensively this season, so Leeds trying to find some gaps that others have found in the league games. Great tackle by Gilberto. And it's Henry on the ball and Perez making a run. Kelly kept him under wraps, so it goes to Parler. Good tackle by Alembe. Leeds United are looking at a very long 35 minutes. 4-0 down at home. Their biggest defeat this season was 4-0 away at Leicester on a Monday night that was sheer misery for the Yorkshire club. Pennant can't get past Cole. Kelly gives the ball to Jermaine Pennant again, or tries to. You can see what's in it for Leeds, what's in it for Pennant to play today, but Arsene Wenger would expect his team to be particularly up for making sure that Pennant doesn't make a meaningful contribution. The physio Gary Lewin having a word with the manager. See a light-hearted remark, and slightly relax on the bench. It's not in the nature of those on the pitch in Arsenal colours to do that. And here's Henry Ljungberg, but tracked well by Alembe. Not that long ago that Leeds were semi-finalists in the Champions League. January 2002, they were top of the Premiership. Smith. It was really trying to bankroll those ambitions that it all went wrong. Overstretched themselves financially, and now they're having to pay for it in the currency of being a selling club. Over Milner, collected by Sol Campbell. Here's Ashley Cole. A flick on from Bergkamp, but a wasteful one from Henry. Olembe. Just waited a bit too long. Sacco was left rather high and dry. Perez. Toure. Here's Smith. Sacco. Stopped by Campbell. Tidied up by Toure with the help of Perez. Henry feeling Kelly at his back. Pennant's gone across to try and keep pace with Henry. And it'll be a moment he'll treasure. And he's got the free kick as well. Well done, Jermaine Pennant. That will increase, that sort of work rate will increase his chances of lining up alongside Henry in the future, although he's still got a few more weeks left of his loan here. Pennant again. Kelly, they're going to make another change. Leeds United again, as with Milner, they're looking to the younger end of their first team squad, because Aaron Lennon is still only 16 in April. He comes on for Sacco. Lennon earlier this season became the youngest player ever to play in this league. Kelly. He has the chance, if he gets a goal, to take a record away from a teammate, James Milner, who was sent on at half-time by Peter Reid. He's the youngest scorer in the Premier League as it stands. Perez. Roberto. Milner helped win it for Seth Johnson. Here's Lennon. Unlucky. Got a vibrant style of play. Comes from Leeds. Henry. Sure, Arsenal really would just like to slow the game down and get some controlled possession and see it out. It's been a spirited effort by Leeds United since they conceded the fourth, and they've been helped by their supporters, a sprinkling of whom turned their back on the team, but the vast majority have stayed here to back them. Milner. Teenagers in tandem here, Milner and Lennon. Off Smith! Well, not many smiles, but It's a goal for Peter Reid and for Leeds United. Well, Arsenal haven't kept a clean sheet here. A little glancing touch from Alan Smith at the near post. Milner, the 17-year-old, Lennon, the 16-year-old, and Alan Smith with the merest of touches. It's hard to see how much the ball changed direction then. Here comes Pires. Well, you'd think that Leeds had got in front with the response from the crowd. Good challenge by Cole, backed up by Batty. Kelly. Kelly. Camera. Well, it was 4-1 in this fixture last season to Arsenal. It's 4-1 to Arsenal now. But we've still got more than 25 minutes to go. Well, defenders like shutouts, like forwards love to score, and there was a spell when Leeds were making it a bit uncomfortable for Arsenal. If you can be uncomfortable when you're leading 4-0, well, now it's 4-1. Camera turns past Henry. Cole intervenes. But this is the problem for Leeds when Arsenal get out. And Rocky Jr. is faced by Henry, who skips away from him. Thierry Henry, and Alembe did very well. Henry needs some support. It didn't go quickly to Ljungberg, who was offering that support. And it ends as a goal kick. Particularly to the relief of Roque Jr., who couldn't buy Leeds any sort of time here. He was left statuesque, but there was plenty of help on the cover from the eager Alembe. Campbell. Here's Smith. Might have been handballed by Ray Parlour. Referee taps his hip, so that's where the contact was made with the ball by the Arsenal midfield man. Pennant. Milner. Now Kelly. Milner wants it again. I really do feel here that the kids are good enough to make the future a bit more optimistic if they can just stabilise the situation this season. A shake of the head by Lehmann suggests that all is not well at the moment defensively for Arsenal. Alembe. Pires. Flagging this up, but Harry Kelly was in the work. Pennant. Rocky Jr. Dominic Matteo, a big miss for Leeds defensively. He's got a thigh strain. Smith, this is good football though from Leeds United. Lennon. And goes Seth Johnson, well tracked back by Pires, getting some applause from the likes of Campbell for doing that. Batty. Play on is the message from the referee. Smith against the post. And now the flag has gone up as the ball has been retrieved by Lennon. Alan Smith queries that. He looked level at worst when Smith hit the shot, Aaron Lennon. He was flagged offside. There's a long way to go, but it's more to the manager's liking, the sort of grit that he displayed for many years as a player, and well, Arsenal realise it's got to be stopped here. It's bang in the face, I think, for Gary Kelly. Well, we're halfway through it in the second half. Arsenal are warming up Edu. It's Leeds who are having to deal with the injured player at the moment. In the Barclaycard English Premier League, Leeds United 1, Arsenal 4. And he's freshened it up, Peter Reid, with Milner and Lennon. Freddie Ljungberg's coming across to get a drink. He's heading back, but the suggestion from down at touchline level is if that Edu is to be brought on, it will be in place of Ljungberg. We'll see. That change might be in the manager's imagination, but it's not yet been effected out on the pitch. Campbell, flag up against Henry. No need for the referee to stop it. Lauren. So some news from St James's Park. Newcastle 1, Aston Villa 1 still, but Villa have gone down to 10 men. Gavin McCann, of course, formerly a Sunderland player, has been sent off at Newcastle. Here comes Edu for Ljungberg with 20 minutes to go. The fourth official just supervising the change. Some news from North London. Tottenham 0, Bolton 1. Kevin Nolan, midfield player, has been used further forward in recent games by Sam Allardyce and has been amongst the goals. Has got another one. Smith might fasten onto this one. Pennant. Colwell did enough. Pennant hasn't given it up. To be fair to Leeds, they haven't given this game up. Here comes Rocky Jr. Edu can't quite get down to business. Kelly. And towards Smith. And he was trying to turn Campbell. He's been penalised for it. Henry cropping up very wide right, which isn't his preferred side. Parler, who's gone into that wider midfield role with Edu alongside Gilberto in that Brazilian bond in the centre of Arsenal's quartet in that part of the pitch. And now they are passing the ball to one another. Edu now across to Cole. Pires. A little slip ball here through for Ashley Cole. It's a fast turn. It's a fabulous piece of play by Ashley Cole. And you wouldn't have criticised him too much if he'd gone for goal there, even though it was quite a tight angle. Calling Jeremy Aliadier back from a warm-up to suggest that he's going to be brought on as well. Smith. Lennon's presence there, making Lauren play it first time. Lembert's cross is a good one, and not the first from that part of the pitch. Pires. Off goes Henry, tearing down the touchline, and in the end, Pires was trying to. It was a really bent run from Henry down the line, and then veering into the penalty area. Pires knew what he was trying to do. It wasn't quite the gap through which to thread the ball. Now Milner, wasted throw by Pires. So Campbell has to rather fire it back to Lehmann. And Milner with all the enthusiasm of a teenager. Remember, it was almost a year ago when he broke into the Leeds side. Scored at Sunderland, that was his record-breaking goal. Then he got one here against Chelsea. Pires. Now Kelly. Smith. Making it difficult for Campbell. Batty. Good footwork by Camara. Smith. Batty can have it again. Looking left to Lembe. It wasn't the best ball from David Batty. He's a good continuity player. I suppose the criticism of him is he does like to take 2 or 3 touches every time he gets the ball, and quicker first-time passes needed, like that one from Seth Johnson to Alan Smith, who could set himself for a shot here. He claims that there was a deflection on it, but goal kick is the decision. All a bit slow to react. I must say the replay suggested that it possibly should have been a corner. Jeremy Aliadier, who scored in the Carling Cup in midweek, in a very different looking Arsenal team. But he comes on with the senior players in place of Dennis Bergkamp. Edu. It's got Parler to one side, and it might run for Ray Parler here. Oh, and it's come out for Henry, and it's hit Parler to stop Henry getting a hat-trick. Leeds had an extra defender then, 4-1 up. You can see the funny side of it, but there was a match ball beckoning for Thierry Henry here until this. I think in the past there was some suggestion that Leeds tried to sign Ray Parler. He was certainly in their camp, unwittingly then. A vital block from the Leeds point of view. Cole. Another important game, the lower end of the table. Middlesbrough 1. Wolves 0. Mendieta has scored that goal. Milner. two rather hogging each other's space, Smith and Pennant. Neither could get to the ball. Referee ruling that Henry really didn't try to jump. Kelly. Henry. Here's Parler. Aliadier and Henry in the middle. Oh, Aliadier with a clear-cut chance. Not been on long. Very highly thought of by Arsene Wenger. And a chance to increase his stature in the mind of the manager. And in his own mind, he knows that was a miss. Passed on by Smith. Pennant. Only cross, but Arsenal filled their own penalty area. Kelly. Rocky Jr. just gets there before Parler, and he's always a happy joining in the opposing half of the pitch. Here he is again. Smith. Arsenal have missed some chances in the second half, but when you think they were 3-0 up at half-time, it's 4-1 now. Leeds say that they're drawing this second period, and who knows, another goal, and they might at least take some satisfaction from the afternoon with the work since the interval. In truth, the game had gone really before we got to that half-time whistle. The character has shone through the home players, particularly conceding the fourth goal so early in the second half. They've had a right old go. Lauren. Henry, Lauren, and it was blocked by Rocky Jr. on number 12, denying the other. Arsenal's fifth of the day. So it's a Pires corner. And believe it or not, it's Arsenal's first corner of the game. And Alan Smith had to defend it. They've got another one. The shorter variety from Arsenal this time. It's back where it's come from, and this time Henry decides he'll stay in the centre. And Pires will look to put it on an Arsenal head. Oh, he's done that. And the header from Edu. There's another opportunity spurned by the league leaders in the second half. Got it down, as they always tell you to do, but got it wide. Bit of grabbing on Smith. With the change on the clocks last weekend. We're very much into floodlights now. The 3 o'clock kickoffs here in England on the Saturday. Parlour happy to get it away. Batty, Olembe. It's Arsenal's throw, and remember they're putting this together today, still without Patrick Vieira. So often the fulcrum of the team, the midfield. Ray Parlour has had a good run. It's as though he might just be being phased out by Arsene Wenger, but he's come back strongly and is enjoying the captaincy in Vieira's absence. Gilberto. No, Henri. Gilberto wants it slipped through. Goes to Ali Adier. Back to Gilberto. He's got one with the left foot. And here's Perez. Edu. To be fair to Leeds, there haven't been many times in the second half when Arsenal have been able to stroke the ball around. Been kept on their toes. They have kept control of the game, but handball by Edu. But they've had to work for that control. Olembe. Pat on the back for Lennon, who'd lost the ball by Milner. Is quite senior compared to Aaron Lennon. Who's Sutton, the goalkeeping coach behind Peter Reid. Perez. Cole. Campbell closing down by Leeds again, and it's forced a miss kick from Lehmann. And then by Cole. Good pressure by Batty. And then by Pennant. Ashley Cole has to put it out. Quick time to tell you that Southampton are 2 down at home to Manchester City. Paolo Wanchop's got the second goal at St Mary's. A little bit of a limp there from Ashley Cole, though he might have strained a muscle. Arsenal won't be wanting that with a big European game to come. It's also Middlesbrough 2, Wolves 0. Juninho adding to Mendieta's opener. It goes down by Pennant, and all a bit messy from Arsenal's point of view. Rocky Jr. Olembe. Edu. Ori's onside. Patrick still remains elusive. Kelly. Milner. A versatile player, can play wide in midfield, can support the strikers, certainly got an eye for goal. Wide by Batty to Olembe, and too close to the goalkeeper. And here's Perez. Feeling has always remained in the second half that should Arsenal really need to up it a gear, and very capable of doing that, but it's always easier to say that than put into practice. And they conceded a free kick. Couple of minutes plus added time, and Seth Johnson tries to catch Arsenal out with a quick free kick. Obviously got the nod from the referee. Actually, his club colleagues Ian Hart, who's only on the bench today, has made a habit of catching Arsenal out with free kicks in matches between these two clubs over the last couple of seasons or so. Kelly. But we shouldn't forget the ruthlessness of Arsenal's finishing in the first half. The pace and penetration they showed on the counter-attack built them a very strong platform for the second half. When they got the fourth, you just wonder whether Leeds would buckle completely. That hasn't been the case. Lauren. Thank you, Junior. With a little give and go, and others pushing forward for Leeds United here, and there's a shout by Lembe and company for a late penalty at Elland Road. Fought his way across in front of Lauren, but Lauren, who was I think unjustly penalised when Charlton got a penalty last weekend, wasn't penalised here, and there didn't seem much of a case for it. A couple of added minutes as there was in the first half. The Arsenal fans with a long but happy journey south ahead of them, trying to cheer their team across the finishing line for another victory. It will be played 11, won 8, drawn 3, averaging 2 goals a game. The average just pushed up by what they've done here. Take them to 27 points. 2 minutes confirmed. Gilberto. And Batty. Here's Rocky Jr. To head off Milner. The youngster kept on going, and Lehmann points an accusing finger at James Milner, who raised the foot. Maybe got a little bit of Lehmann on the follow through. Hasn't been a close enough contest really for the referee to have a difficult day with the sense of competition in the match. There is a suggestion that now a change at the top of the refereeing structure in the Premiership, that cards will not be brandished quite so liberally. Martin Wenger will be happy about that. Henry. Headed. Arsenal piece together one final move. Lembe is been a source of constant action down that left-hand side, both the defending and attacking. Gilberto. Parler. Dying embers at Elland Road. Henry. Now the Adier. One good chance already. And he goes through Rocky Jr. Johnson.
Arsenal remain unbeaten and stay top of the Premiership. All credit to Leeds. They battled hard, but it wasn't enough. Arsenal 4, Leeds 1. Stick around, we'll have highlights right after this.
of a full hour this week on Fox.